Here are the 5 tips that brought me back to noob to pro. So this is what exactly happened. I was just trying new games, exploring them, having fun. But when I came back to the standoff 2, my skill, my aim, my game sense, everything was gone. I was completely losing when I started playing competitive mode. Even tried to train in the training ground, but nothing changed. I had lost it completely, the feeling of playing the standoff 2. But then I remembered some of my old videos where I was speaking about the tip number 1, the shooting pattern. So there is a tap, burst and the spray. These are the 3 things that we are familiar of. There is one more way through which we can aim with absolute precision. So you can do this by slightly touching the shoot button. It will start shooting with the tap and the burst mode with combination. It would look something like this. Try it out by yourself. Keep your finger slightly above the shoot button and just slightly touch the shoot button and then leave it so you can have this shooting pattern. So what this does is it doesn't adapt to the spray recoil or the burst recoil. It reduces the recoil to aim better at the target. So what this does is it improves your tip number 2, the horizontal aim. So you know there is a tip in standoff 2 community, always aim to the head, but never actually explain how to do it. So this is what it is. By practicing the horizontal aim, your headshot percentage will increase. Alright, now remember the first tip that we did, the tap and the burst. You need to use it here. Now obviously you have to aim to the head, but you're also building the muscle memory for your crosshair to stay at the head high, improving the horizontal aim. While training, you have to recognize the head height of the target so that whenever you swap horizontally, you aim at the head. So here what we are doing is by default we are making the crosshair to stay at the head high. Whenever you are moving in the map, your crosshair is already on the head high. Now my aim was improved, but the tip number 3, the movement, was worst. So in standoff 2 we are conditioned to not to move or not to give any movement while shooting at the enemy. However, it's not completely true. So here is a clip from a Una XD where he gives the movement, but which cannot be observed directly when you see for the first time. But when you observe closely, you can see some sort of movement in it. So let's look closely what's going on in this gameplay. Standoff 2 is not about extreme movement, it's about subtle movement. It's about giving small movement, controlling the recoil and also dodging few bullets. So this is how it works. You have to tap from one position and then move slightly and then start bursting out the bullets. So remember the first tip, you have to do it with a movement. The movement with a tap and a burst. First you need to tap and then give a movement, then with a burst you have to finish the target. Practically speaking, when you're moving, your crosshair is not at rest. So we are shooting when we are not moving, which is when we tap for the first time, we are at the rest. Then we move or give a movement, stop again and start shooting. This way you can give the movement without worrying about the recoil. But you must also know the tip number 4, the shoulder peek. It's a kind of a dodging movement. This will help you to shoot from the cover without getting any damage. This will also help if you want to check into any angle, if there is an enemy holding that position or not. You can simply do this movement and check if the enemy is holding that position or not. This will keep you safe from the unnecessary peek that we do in the game. But in the open fights, you must know the tip number 5, the micro adjustment. So this tip help you to win a 1v1 fight when you are moving and also the target is moving. You have a split second to take that headshot and win that fight. So practice this movement with the tap and burst. One thing you need to keep in mind when you're practicing this in the training ground. So there is a 2 type of gun, one with the high recoil and one with the low recoil. So high recoil guns need low movement and the low recoil guns can be done with high movement. So that's the advantage of a low recoil gun and the high recoil gun. Whereas these 5 tips brought back my skill and aim, it has still not improved my game sense. Standoff 2 is a game of patience, whereas in other games we have to rush to win the game. A lot of prediction and visualization goes into play, which can simply be mastered by playing more competitive games. That's it. We'll get back in the next video.